Several years ago, my husband began his own business and we became self-employed and we didn't have any health insurance. So at that point in our lives, it became really important for us to get off medications that we were on because we couldn't afford the doctor's visits and the price of the prescriptions. So I started looking for natural solutions and I changed our diet and I started using some herbs and some homeopathic remedies. And then when my boss introduced me to essential oils, I was so grateful because here was another tool I could have in my toolbox to help us when we got sick and to use as a preventative. So I put these oils to work when my husband one night last December said he was getting strep throat. I was really nervous because I knew what strep throat meant to us. It meant an urgent care visit, a prescription for an antibiotic, and several days of missed work. And since he is self-employed and paid on commission, it's really important for him to go to work. So I got out my oils and I used the protective blend and I used melaleuca and I used frankincense and oregano. And I diffused that protective blend in our room that night when he went to bed, and he took some in his mouth. And then the next morning, we just got busy with the oils, applying them frequently and consistently over and over until at the end of the day, I was exhausted with taking care of him. But I knew the next morning I'd probably get up and do the same thing again, but I really wanted him to get well and avoid that visit to the doctor. And to my surprise, the next morning after we'd used the oils all that previous day and a half, I looked over to him and he had on a white shirt and tie, and I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm going to work." And I said, "What? I thought you were still sick." And he said, "No, I feel great. I'm going to work." I was so amazed at those results that I started doing more research into these essential oils because I had friends asking me about them and I wanted to be able to tell them how and why they worked instead of just giving my stories. So with the research I did on aromaticscience.com and PubMed and other places, I found that these essential oils work with our chemistry, and they're plant-based and they're natural, so they don't have those side effects that we were getting from our medicines we were using before. And I'm so excited because I started using them with my children for their emotional needs as well as their physical needs, because the chemistry in the oils can affect us emotionally as well as physically. I love essential oils and the way they have empowered me and given me natural solutions to the things that my family is facing, and I know they will help you as well if you will put them into practice and give them a chance to work for you.